And welcome to the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Eli Belosky, and this is your co-host this week,
Tyler Belosky. And seriously, this is the third time you are hosting. I don't know who wrote this contract up for you, Eli, but what the heck?
Well, a lot of people and staff say that they want more of me, so they gave me a chance to host today.
You have a pretty good agent. You're getting 3 starts, and you're probably more to come. And actually, the Twitter world is asking for more of Eli. The podcast world is asking for more hosting of Eli. So here's your chance, buddy. Take it away.
Yeah, alright, so we're getting... This is Season 2, Episode 15, Week 8 of the season. It's already going so fast.
Yeah, playoffs are right around the corner for your fantasy league, guys. Usually most of them start about Week 14 or so, and the monster bye week this week. So let's.
And next week, too.
Next week you have 2 teams, and I think the following week is back to 4. But either way, we'll get to it next week when we get to it.
Yeah. And we want to thank the guys at DraftingSleepers.com. We are teamed up with them this year and hopefully next year. And they do the Big Four fantasy sports: fantasy football, hockey, basketball, and baseball. It's a good website to have polls. We post our podcast there. We've been getting a lot more comments on our podcast, so check that out. So, yeah, we want to thank the guys over there.
Yeah, DraftingSleepers.com. It's a social network for your fantasy sports.
Yeah, and so let's get right into it. We're going to the nines presented by Pristine Auction. Pristine Auction is a awesome website. You can bid on, it's a free bid. You can bid on sports memorabilia. You can bid on movie memorabilia. You can maybe even get a signed popcorn bucket.
From T.O.
Yeah.
From T.O., yep. Yeah, your favorite athletes are there signing all their jerseys, bats, and balls. Everything is 100% authentic. They have real people there watching the players put their hands on these items and sign them. It's awesome. When you guys sign up for free and bid for free, make sure you mention our podcast, the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. And guys, go there. It is an amazing website. I almost last night, Eli, bid on an Eli Rogers jersey. You know how much it was?
How?
$17.
Are you kidding?
Almost bid on it. Wanted it, but then I realized it's Eli Rogers. But that's how awesome it is. $17 for Eli Rogers signed Pittsburgh jersey. The Bumblebee jersey.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So $17. Guys, these are legit prices at pristineauction.com. They're awesome. They have your favorite players again. So Eli, take it off for the nines. What do nines mean?
The nines are news, injuries, notes, emails, and stats. Yep. Why don't you get right into it?
Yeah, our first one is Carson Palmer. He broke his arm. He's pretty much done for the fantasy football season, so you can go ahead and drop him. He says he's going to be back in a couple weeks, but by then you're not going to play him anymore, so just go ahead and drop Carson Palmer.
He's going to retire after this year.
I would assume so. He's pretty much done. Maybe one more, but he's got to go. Yeah. One guy who may be retiring is the offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, Joe Thomas. Finally gets hurt. Finally going to miss his first game of his career. Yeah. He is done for this season, and it's still up in the air whether he's going to come back for the team or not. This guy is an Iron Man. He's played thousands of snaps.
I actually think that's his nickname.
I think it is for football. Yeah, and he's a stud, and he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Another big injury is the kicker Dane Bailey for the Dallas Cowboys. He's pretty much done for the season.
You don't see a kicker injury that often.
Yeah, I would definitely drop him. They'd signed Mike Nugent. I don't know if I'd pick him up unless you had to for the bye week filler. And a couple other players who aren't playing this week. Emmanuel Sanders is again out with his ankle injury, and Martavis Bryant for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is going to be benched, inactive. Coach's decision. He is just a headache, and I think Mike Tomlin's sending him a message that, hey, you're not going to mess around. You're not going to mess around on Twitter. And if so, I'm going to bench you.
Yeah.
So he's not playing this week, which means that's good news for Juju Smith-Schuster. Maybe some Eli Rogers action. But get Brian out of your lineup, Sanders out of your lineup.
Yeah, there is rumors that he's being traded to the Bears.
I've heard the Bears, the Giants, and even maybe Carolina. They need that extra.
Yeah, they would need him at Carolina. Next 9. All these following guys are playing: Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, Golden Tate, and Juju Smith-Schuster. So get them all in your lineups. Juju and Golden Tate for bye week fillers, and then Steph Diggs and Mike Thomas for your regular starters.
Yeah, I like that. I like Steph Diggs as your starter, Thomas as your starter too. Golden Tate, because he's coming back a little bit early, maybe on a snap count. So yeah, he's be a bye week filler flex position.
Yeah.
He's not your number 1 or 2. And same with Juju. He's still a rookie. He's coming out of concussion protocol, but now that Bryant's not playing, he probably should be full steam ahead. Maybe a flex bye week filler. I'm actually going to start him in one of my leagues, so I definitely want to get him in your lineup.
Definitely. And on Thursday night, there was a brutal hit on Joe Flacco. He's in concussion protocol.
I'm surprised he's not decapitated.
Yes.
That hit was gruesome. It was kind of clean, but oh my goodness, he took his hat off.
Yeah, basically. His neck must be in so much pain right now. It was a huge hit.
Huge.
He just blindsided him pretty much.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
He actually slid right for once.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think you'd ever start Joe Flacco anyways, but that's just keeping you up on the news for him. And if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan,
Yeah.
your season's pretty much done now.
Yeah.
Not that they were going anywhere anyways, but what do you got next, Eli?
Next 9. Danny Amendola is a game-time decision for the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots put him on his injured list. He's dealing with a hyperextended knee, and he says he's good to go. The team says, hold on, we'll see. So that's why he's going to be a game-time decision. Really, I wouldn't even play him this week unless you needed that bye week filler with all the byes, and we'll get to those teams in a little bit.
Yeah.
But instead I'd start Chris Hogan and obviously Brandon Cooks, but I don't put Brandon Cooks or Danny Amendola in your lineup this week.
Yeah, just give him that 1 week of cushion. And last, Seattle signed Dwight Feeney on defense for their defense. They're going to try and get him in for insurance, really. I think that's all they really signed him for.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's pretty much on his way out. I think they just brought him in for some backup, get some of those defensive linemen some breather or two here and there. That may be a good way to get them into the playoff push for that defense. As we were talking about this earlier tonight during the prep, how that defense is getting older. Not so much maybe age-wise, but just they're in there so often and getting pounded that their bodies are breaking down. So they're going to get some new guys in there.
Yeah, it seems like Richard Sherman could just play forever, but he really can't.
No. The way he flies around and crushes people, no way.
Yeah, all right, on to the 4 questions from Drafting Sleepers. First one from Juice is Loose.
Juice is loose.
And he is asking, Tyler, is it time to drop Terrell Pryor?
I would. I honestly, I wouldn't have even drafted him. I'm not drafting Terrell Pryor to start the season, and I'm surely going to either try to trade him earlier this year or drop him now. Go ahead and drop him. I think Washington is done with Terrell Pryor. I actually heard jokingly saying they're going to try to trade Pryor for Bryant, switch those 2 guys, and trade headache for headache. But yes, go ahead and drop Terrell Pryor. Juice is loose.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's just useless pretty much now.
Yep. Hack-a-Shack asks, Eli, you got to start one of these 2 running backs this week. Joe Mixon or Jerry McKinnon?
I think McKinnon. He's more of a proved running back, Mixon being the rookie. Mixon is playing Indianapolis, and McKinnon is playing Cleveland.
Ooh.
But the Cleveland game is in London, so it's basically even, because even if Cleveland was in Cleveland, that it's Cleveland anyways. It's the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Mixon. That Cleveland defensive line is a little tougher, and they can shut the run game down. But once they get past that offensive line, or defensive line, I mean, they can break it off. So McKinnon would be good for that, but he's also splitting a lot of time with Latavius Murray. Joe Mixon is starting to see the ball a lot more, and they're playing that Indianapolis Colts defense. Yes, he's sharing time with Gio Bernard, but I would say Joe Mixon. So Hack-a-Shack, I guess it's flip a coin because we each pick one of the other guys.
Yeah. Next question from Drinkin' Fortes, or
Yeah, Fortes. Yep.
Fortes. Opinion on Jermaine Kearse as a wide receiver 3 or flex this week? So in a deep league, I'd say yes. I mean,
They're playing the Falcons this week, and
they're
that's
playing
a
the Falcons.
pretty weak defensive secondary. And they don't really have a whole lot of passing options in New York this year, anyways. And so that front line though can get to Josh McNeil, so he's gonna have a dump off player. I'm actually starting him this week because of the bye week filler, Jermaine Kearse. So I would say go ahead and start him as a W3 or a flex, just because he's gonna get some PPR points this week, maybe even a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he will against that secondary.
Yep.
And the last question, another one from Truffle Shuffle.
Truffle Shuffle, back-to-back weeks, I believe. If not, this is his second one. Thanks for listening, Truffle Shuffle. You are the man.
Yeah. And he's asking Watson or Wentz.
Which one are you going to start?
Deshaun Watson plays Seattle defense, and Carson Wentz plays the 49ers. I'd say Carson Wentz. He's got the hot hand right now. They're going against San Francisco. They are home. And Seattle, when Seattle's home, they usually play really well. They're a good home team. So, Truffle Shuffle, I'd say Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like Deshaun Watson. His fantasy points are going up every week, and they're giving him more confidence to throw the ball. But they're going against that Seattle pass defense, and that is just brutal. They shut everyone down. So I would say Carson Wentz for the same reasons you did. He is a hot hand this year. I think he's a quarterback, the best quarterback in the league. If not, I mean, you got the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league, fantasy points wise. So I would say Carson Wentz, but Deshaun, can't go wrong with Deshaun Watson if you want to flip the coin on that.
Yeah, definitely not. Moving on to our next segment, Sit Start. And we're going to start this right off with Minnesota at Cleveland, or versus Cleveland, in Twickenham Stadium, London. So this is a London game.
Yeah, for Minnesota, I'm going to start Adam Thielen, of course, Stephon Diggs, Casey Kasem, most likely if you need that bye week filler. Definitely Kyle Rudolph, as that linebacking core is horrible in Cleveland. As for Cleveland, I'm not going to start anyone again this week. Maybe Duke Johnson for some PPR points.
Yeah.
Crow, probably not. The defensive line is stellar again. And I'd start the Minnesota defense.
Oh, yeah, they're going to shut them down. Maybe 2 field goals and maybe a touchdown.
Yeah,
I doubt it, though.
Maybe a punt return touchdown or something.
Yeah, a special teams touchdown.
Yeah.
Next game, Oakland at Buffalo. And for Buffalo, I'm going to start Tyrod Taylor. Nick O'Leary, he showed pretty good, or not last week, but...
Yeah, last week.
He had a bye last week.
Oh, the week before, yeah.
Yeah, the week before, he had a pretty good game subbing in.
They played last week against Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah, but he had a pretty good game against Tampa Bay. He had a few catches, I think over 50 yards.
Yeah, so I would start with him, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right, Tyrod, McCoy, O'Leary.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, maybe that defense. It might be they might...
No, they just traded that one guy.
Oh, yeah, they traded Marcel Darius.
Yeah, to Seattle.
To Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah.
For some reason, for a 6th-round draft pick.
Yep, next year's draft.
A 6th-round draft pick. Are you kidding me?
And then for Oakland, I'm starting Derek Carr. I'm going to start Jared Cook and Crabtree and Cooper this week. Maybe Cooper can repeat from last week. Obviously, Marshawn Lynch is suspended, so you're not going to start him. As far as the 2 running backs in Oakland, unless you need to start them, I don't even know their names, so it's probably not worth starting them.
Yeah.
So don't start anyone from Oakland other than Carr, Cook, Crabtree, and Cooper.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals, you want to go ahead and start Andy Dalton, AJ Green, Tyler Kroft, Joe Mixon if you have to. Maybe Brandon LaFell if you have a deep league against that Indianapolis Colts defense. And definitely start that Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, the defense is getting hot.
They're getting hot. They're turning it on at the right point. Indianapolis Colts, I'm not starting anyone. If you have to, T.Y. Hilton, or as you call him, Ty Hilton, and you call him T.Y. Montgomery. instead of Ty Montgomery, T.Y. Montgomery.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, maybe T.Y. Hilton, and that's about it. Maybe Jack Doyle is a dump down.
Yeah.
But that's about it for the Colts. Eli, who are you gonna start? You're gonna start Los Angeles Chargers versus New England Patriots. Eli, you're gonna start Tom Brady,
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks,
Yeah.
Chris Hogan,
Maybe in deep
yeah,
leagues.
Gronk,
Yeah.
Damian Adola.
No.
Nope, I agree. All of those. Los Angeles Chargers, Philip Rivers.
No.
It's a weak secondary though. They're getting stronger, but I would start them.
Mm,
Melvin Gordon.
No. Their line and linebackers are getting pretty high. It's their secondary that's weak. The New England defense.
Yeah, but he's the number one running back. He drafted him in the first round, early second round. You got to start Melvin Gordon. Keenan Allen.
No, not really.
You're starting him in one of your leagues.
No,
Eli.
they're gonna. Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a
Well.
bye week. These are all bye week guys. You got to fill them. You got
Yeah.
6 teams on bye. You got to start Keenan Allen. You got to start Melvin Gordon, Hunter Henry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Okay.
if you have like anyone on by.
All right. Take over the Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints.
Chicago Bears. I'm starting really Jordan Howard. That defensive line isn't as good. Well, it's okay. They've been getting a little bit better, but I don't trust that line. I think I'm gonna go Jordan Howard.
Maybe Zach Miller, Mitch Trubisky. Only threw
Deep leagues for
Yeah,
bye.
well, no, he only threw 7 passes last week. You're not starting him, not this year.
Yeah, start.
Next year
Jordan
you can
Howard.
start him, yeah. Jordan
Yeah.
Howard. Who are you starting for the Saints?
Saints. I'm starting Drew Brees. I'm starting Mike Thomas. I'm starting Ted Ginn. I'm starting Kobe Fleener. I'm starting Will Lutz.
No, the
And-
kicker, yep. Mark Ingram. Alvin
Yeah,
Kamara.
I
You-
always forget.
And you know what?
running backs.
Chicago's defense had 2 defensive touchdowns last week
Yeah.
against
The-
Cam Newton. Now they're going against Drew Brees. Drew Brees, I don't believe he's thrown an interception yet this year.
He
So
has one, I think.
One. So if you need to start a defense, the Bears may be a good defense to start this week. I'm not starting the New Orleans defense, though.
No.
Oh, actually, I would because they're playing the Bears.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, I like all those people you said, Eli. Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. The Falcons, you're starting Matt Ryan.
Yes.
You're going to start Devontae Freeman.
Yes.
Tevin Coleman.
Yes.
Julio Franco. That's a baseball player. I'm looking at pristine auction right now. Julio Jones.
Yes.
Taylor Gabriel.
Yes.
Deep leagues.
Yes.
Mohamed
Well,
Sanu.
maybe not.
Bye weeks,
Bye
yeah,
week,
yeah.
yeah.
Mohamed Sanu.
Deep leagues, yes.
Yeah.
Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper, yeah.
Deep leagues,
yeah.
bye.
Bye week.
Because
Yeah.
Mohamed Sanu's back.
Yep. Got that defense. Atlanta's defense.
Yeah.
New
New
York.
York Jets, I'm starting Jermaine Kearse, deep league, bye.
Yeah. Matt Forte. Maybe Bilal Powell.
Maybe.
I mean, you need running backs this
Bial's still a little bit banged up, so
Yeah,
I would wait on him.
week. Yep. And Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely start him.
San Francisco, Philadelphia. For San Francisco, you're really not gonna start anyone.
No, you gotta get Carlos Hyde in there,
yeah, bye
and maybe
weeks.
Pierre Gasol. That's about it. Bye
Yeah,
weeks. No one else.
Bye. Deep.
He'll
league.
get some PPR points for you. That's about it.
Yeah, really, that's all.
He has yet to score a touchdown, but if he's still catching about 8 balls, that's 8 points. So
And
Philadelphia, we're going to start Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz,
Alshon Jeffrey.
yeah, maybe Wendell Smallwood, Nelson Aguilar, and LeGarrette Blount for sure. He'll get some goal
Yeah.
line touches this week.
Yeah, and he'll probably be running a lot, like inside San Francisco territory.
Yep, and I would definitely start that Philly defense too, going against
Oh,
San
yeah,
Francisco in Philadelphia for sure.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go for it, Eli.
For Carolina, you're going to start Cam Newton. Even coming off that loss last week, I'm still going to start him. Because you're playing the Tampa Bay defense. And you're going to start Jonathan Stewart. You're going to start Calvin Benjamin. You're going to start
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Greg Olsen comes back to practice late, probably next week, if not early the week after, so he should be ready to go. I think they said week 11 or 12 for Greg Olsen. So if he's on your waiver wire, go ahead and pick him up right now. That could be a good steal waiver wire if you have a position for him.
Yeah,
And
I kept him on my bench ever since he got injured.
Yep, since week 2. As far as Jonathan Stewart, that's kind of iffy. He's done. I would not start Stewart, even if I had to have a bye week filler. I think Jonathan Stewart is droppable. I've dropped him in a couple of leagues. I know you still kind of like him a little bit, but
I think he's gonna at least have I think he's gonna have a couple touches this week.
touchdowns or just touches?
Touches. Like I think they're gonna give him the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, he may get 40 or 50 yards, but I honestly would not start him. I would go.
I can see that.
Maybe a
definitely.
deep league, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'd start that Carolina defense against Tampa Bay because who came back this week? Your boy, your stud linebacker there.
Oh yeah, Luke Kuechly.
Yeah,
he's back.
He is back, ready to go. I mean, he's probably gonna be on a snap count maybe, but hey, he's back and get that defense up and running.
I bet he'll get at least 2 sacks.
Oh, I bet against Winston. Sure, the offensive line is horrible. But I'm still gonna start Winston. I'm still gonna start Doug Martin, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, and OJ Howard. He's turning it on now.
OJ had 2 or 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, he's coming on strong for that Rookie of the Year candidate. I think it's still between Watson and Leonard Fournette, but OJ or Evan Ingram too. Those four.
Not Case Keenum, but Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, yeah, he's been slowing down lately though, but I can see. I mean, they're all right there. I mean, this is a good class this year. They're really good. There's no wide receivers though this year, but.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Williams got injured. Zay Jones isn't doing anything.
Yeah, Juju's kind of coming on, but
Juju would win for rookies.
For the receivers, yeah.
Yeah, or receivers, yeah.
But they don't have individual. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, keep going, host. You're the host with the most, Eli.
Yep.
Houston and Seattle.
Next game, Houston at Seattle. For Houston, like we said earlier, you're going to start Deshaun Watson, maybe Lamar Miller this week. I think I will.
You got to start them over. Would you start Lamar Miller or Jonathan Stewart?
Oh, definitely Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, Carlos Hyde.
Lamar Miller.
Carlos Hyde or Jonathan Stewart?
Jonathan Stewart.
Ooh.
I wouldn't start either, but...
Well, no, if you had to pick one.
Yeah, then Jonathan Stewart.
All right.
Barely.
All right, keep going. So Houston, you said Watson, Miller.
And Hopkins, Will Fuller's coming on pretty good.
Yep.
And that's about it. Maybe that defense.
Maybe they're kind of.
They're in Seattle.
Yeah.
So JJ Watt's out. That's right.
Yeah, and Houston actually has good news also at the tight end position. C.J. Fedorowicz is starting to practice again, so he may be back. They say maybe this week, but I'd go ahead and wait until next week. So if you can pick him up this week, and maybe we can steal him for next week. So watch for him. Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin. Running backs, no one. I mean, they still don't know what they're doing up there. Eddie Lacy and Thomas Rawls and C.J. Prosise. But Paul Richardson, I'd start. I'd start Tyler Lockett maybe if you have deep leagues. And then Jimmy Graham also.
Yeah, next game.
And that's Seattle defense for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In Seattle.
Yeah.
Dallas at Washington. A division rivalry.
Game of the week.
Yeah, game of the week. Of the day games, but yeah, Dallas. I'm gonna start Zeke. He had 3 touchdowns last week. He blew it up.
And this could be his last week playing. They're still trying to figure out what they're gonna do about his suspension. I think we find out early next week if he's actually suspended or not. So, if you haven't picked up Alfred Morris or Darren McFadden, I would say maybe go ahead and do that now that we're getting close to the playoff run. You're going to need a running back. And Zeke may not be here anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so who you got? You said
Dak Prescott, Zeke, Terrence Williams, and buys, maybe.
Cole Beasley. I'd probably start Bryant. Yeah, I'd probably start Cole Beasley before Terrence Williams.
Definitely.
He's kind of getting faded out for, they got another receiver out there.
Yeah, they do.
Price or something like that. I mean, he's starting to come on a little bit.
He had a touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Jason Witten I'd start because Washington's defense is not good at tight ends. Washington, if I have to start Kirk Cousins, I would. If I have to start, I would definitely start Chris Thompson. I mean, he's still going strong. I saw a stat this morning, Eli, that Chris Thompson is the leading rusher and receiver for the Washington Redskins, and he's a running back. He has the most receptions and the most rushing yards. I don't think he has the most receiving yards, but he has the most receptions. He's a running back.
Yeah.
And you want to start Jordan Reed, definitely. A lot of people are starting to say Josh Doxson, And
Terrell Pryor.
yeah, not him, but there's the other one there. But
Uh,
Kirk Cousins spreads the ball around so much that I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd trust any of those receivers. But I'd start Kirk Cousins for sure. He's gonna get you 302, and maybe 2 picks, but he'd be good against that Dallas defense for sure.
Yeah. The real game of the week, I think, is
That's because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you
no,
like the
no.
Pittsburgh-
I think it's going to be the game of the week.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Go for it.
Pittsburgh at Detroit. In Detroit, that's going to hurt Pittsburgh. That's what makes it really even. Because if it was in Pittsburgh, then I think Pittsburgh would pull away with it.
Yeah, and we'll get our pick-em-ins in a couple minutes. But yeah, I think you're right. I think this will probably be one of the best games of the week this week, other than that Dallas-Washington game. But
Yeah.
that's going to be ugly. This game's going to be exciting because it's going to be like 65-66.
Yeah.
Because both offenses are so powerful. The only thing that Pittsburgh has going for them better than both the defenses are pretty good. So
Yeah. Detroit, early in the year, was the leading fantasy points.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, so who are you going to start? You're going to start obviously Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben, you're going to start the 5 or 6 Bs.
Well, you're not starting Bryant this week. He's
Or
not
not
playing.
Bryant, no.
Yeah.
So the 5 Bs.
The 4 Bs.
Oh, yeah.
Bell, Big Ben, Bell, Bryant. Oh, sorry. Woo! Bell, Big Ben,
Brown,
Brown,
and Boswell.
and start that defense.
Yeah.
Vance McDonald's kind of coming on a little bit.
He's gotten a couple catches. Ben has given it more to him than he has Bryant.
Yeah, and Jesse James isn't really doing anything, so you can actually probably go ahead and drop him.
Yeah,
But,
for Vance McDonald.
Yeah. Maybe Eli Rogers, but probably not. But definitely Juju
Yeah.
Smith.
Uh-huh.
I would start him.
Deep league, bye week, flex.
Did you hear what happened to Juju this week? I mean, probably by now you have. But
The huge hit?
No.
No, not the hit.
Someone stole his bike.
Really?
Yeah, someone stole his bicycle. But he got it back, though. They got it back. Because someone, I guess, took it to a pawn shop and tried to sell it. And the guy's like, oh, wow, this is actually your bike. So he gave it back to him. And
Yeah.
now he's a big superstar because of that. But actually, have you seen some of his TV celebrations?
Oh, yeah, he played hide and seek with Le'Veon
awesome.
Bell.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
And then when the Pittsburgh played Kansas City, Le'Veon Bell, he used the goalpost
as a punching bag.
as a punching bag.
Yeah.
They called a foul for that. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
I'm actually going to look up Juju Smith's...
Celebrations.
Well, I'm going to look up his jersey on pristineauction.com, see if I can get one of those.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
yeah.
awesome. But I like that kid. He's fun. He's
awesome.
fast. He's good. He's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think they found a good kind of replacement for Brown.
Yeah, when
Brown's
he gets older.
Yeah, Brown's
he's
got
a couple
some
years.
years. All right, back to the game. Detroit Lions, we're going to start Matthew Stafford. Kind of took a left turn on that one.
Yeah.
That's all right. So Detroit, you're going to start Matthew Stafford. Golden Tate, possibly, if a flex this week. Marvin Jones, however, I'd start as a flex also because if Tate's not going to be, he'll be limping around a little bit, so get Marvin Jones in there.
Yeah, but he hasn't been doing very well.
Yeah, but this week he's going to probably see a little more passes. Eric Ebron, you want to start. As far as running backs, it's going to be tough sledding for those guys, but Theo Reddick, get him in there because he'll get some PPR points. And Amir Abdullah, just because I have to start him this week because I have no other running backs who are playing this week because they're all on bye. So go with all those guys. Eli, who you got for Monday night?
Monday night is Denver at Kansas City, and I think Kansas City is going to pull away with this one. I'll talk more about that in pick'ems. For Denver, you're going to start. I wouldn't start Trevor Siemian. Maybe
unless you have to. We have to in our Scott Fishbowl league, and I'm not liking it. He's been going downhill since about week 4 or 5, but we have to start him.
Yeah, and we can't do trades, so we couldn't trade him.
Yeah.
We can drop him though, but I don't.
Someone would scoop him up. Probably Brandon Marion Lee would scoop him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They picked Jared Goff before us, and
Yeah.
we would have been in first in our division if we had Jared Goff.
Yeah, but Brandon Marion Lee had to go and pick him up and then take our chocolate and beat us and all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Denver, you're gonna start C.J. Anderson. You want to start Demaryius Thomas. I would start A.J. Derby, the tight end. Definitely get him going.
Jake Butt is practicing.
He's practicing, so probably maybe next week get him in there. Emmanuel Sanders you cannot start because he's hurt. Benny Fowler, if you need a deep receiver, He blew it up a little bit last week. I think like 9, 10 points or so. That's good. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Kansas City, obviously Alex Smith. You want to start Kareem Hunt, Jeremy Maclin. You don't want to start because he doesn't play there anymore.
Yeah.
Jeremy Hill.
No.
Hill.
Bengals.
I don't know.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, either way. You know who I meant. Hill. Get him
Well,
in there.
they didn't.
Travis Kelce, you're going to start. I'd start both defenses because I think it's going to be like a 6-3 game.
I think Kansas City is going to blow them out, really. Because
Really?
they have no one. They only have their running game. Really.
Yeah, but Denver's defense is so good. That's why I think it's going to be. It's going to
If
be.
they had DeMarcus Mare, it'd be a way better game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be about a 12 to 9 point game. So I'd start both defenses if you had to.
Like the Tennessee Cleveland game last week.
Yeah, or whoever they played. Yeah. All right, so buys this week. We got Green Bay Packers, Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Rams, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So get all of those guys out of your lineups.
Unless you play us.
Unless you played us, and go ahead and drop all of those guys because I need some help in some of my leagues, so I could use some of those players that you
Yeah,
dropped.
like Jordan Nelson. Just drop him.
Just
He's
drop him.
worthless.
Yeah, he's worthless now. He has no quarterback really.
Yeah,
So go ahead and
yeah,
drop
he's
him.
really not.
I'll pick him up. Drop Todd Gurley. I'll pick him up for you. All right.
Yeah, but seriously, don't drop those guys.
Don't drop him. Don't trade him. Just hold on to him. You go past this bye week and
And the next 6-team bye week.
yeah. All right. So what's our next segment, Eli? Our host.
Next segment is our pick'ems, and so let's get right into it. Minnesota versus Cleveland. Who you picking?
Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings. Next game, Oakland at Buffalo. I'm picking Buffalo. They're at home.
I'm picking Buffalo too. That defense is still pretty good.
4-2.
4-2. They keep winning. I don't know how. Oakland's traveling all the way across the country to play this game. They don't have the running back Lynch. I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Yeah. Next game, Indianapolis at Cincinnati Bengals. I'm picking Bengals. Their defense is really hot.
Yeah, they have no offense in Indianapolis. I mean, Brissett's pretty good, but that defense is gonna be better. Bengals.
Yeah, definitely Bengals. Los Angeles Chargers at New England Patriots. I don't want to do it, but it's Patriots. They're in Foxborough. It's the Patriots.
I would go.
I think they're gonna win.
I'm gonna go with Patriots also. I've heard a couple of people pick the Chargers, but they're traveling across country also, and I'm not a fan of that.
Playing in the cold.
If it was the other way around, maybe the Chargers, but the Patriots are playing at home. So
Yeah.
Patriots.
Chicago at New Orleans Saints. I'm picking Saints.
Yep. Saints.
Even though Chicago came off the win. Atlanta versus New York Jets. This is actually kind of hard for me. Atlanta has lost 2 in a row. New York is... They're doing pretty good.
Somehow they keep winning.
Yes.
How do they do that? How do they keep winning?
Yes. This year is so confusing.
It is very confusing. I'm going to go with the Falcons, though.
Yeah, Falcons.
I mean, it's Matt Ryan, it's Julio Jones, or Julio Franco, if you want to say. It's Julio Jones. It's that run defense, they got to get it back. They're running backs, they'll get it back together.
Yeah,
Falcons.
hopefully. And we'll just breeze by this one. San Francisco at Philadelphia.
Philly.
Philadelphia. Carolina at Tampa Bay. I'm picking Carolina.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. They're at home.
Tampa Bay only has 2 wins. That's just why I can't pick them.
I'm picking them because they're at home. They maybe have that motivation to win this week.
Yeah, division rivalry.
Carolina's coming off of that loss. I mean, that's a tough game. This is a tough game to pick too, Eli.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
if it was the other way around, home, I'd pick the home. I'm picking the home team. So Tampa Bay.
All right, Carolina. I'm picking. Houston at Seattle. I'm picking Seattle only because they're home. They do really good at home.
Yeah, and I'm picking Seattle. I mean, I like Watson, but as we said, he's going against that tough defense as a rookie. It's going to be tough for him. I'm going to go with Seattle.
Dallas at Washington. It's in Washington, but I feel like Dallas is just going to beat them. Zeke's going to run all over them.
Exactly. I was going to say the exact thing. That their offense is way better than that Washington offense. And both defenses are horrible, but I think Dallas are just dominating them this week, unfortunately.
Yeah. Pittsburgh at Detroit. This is a really hard game. but I think I'm going to have to go Pittsburgh.
You I'm sorry. You're the biggest Pittsburgh fan that I know, and you're hesitating. It's just
Because Detroit seems like a pretty good team.
No, I know. It's just funny that you're hesitating. I'm gonna go with the Steelers also.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's funny.
Last week, when you picked New York to lose to
Seattle. Yep.
And when you picked them to lose against Los Angeles and Denver.
Yeah.
That was just sad.
Yeah, I know. All right, so Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's in Arrowhead. I'm going to have to pick the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with Denver Broncos.
Just because of their defense?
Just the defense. Just the defense alone.
And we're going to repeat the byes. Green Bay Packers, Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Rams, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, and Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. You got a tip of the week?
Tip of the week this week, don't be scared of the byes. Hopefully you've done your research last week so your bye week fillers are ready to go. Also next week, I think there's only 2 byes. So by then you can definitely have your team ready to go for the playoff run. And if you're not in the playoff run, go ahead and just good luck for you. Oh no, there is a lot of byes.
Yeah, there's a lot of byes next week.
Then start stocking up on those. Next week you got the Bears, Browns, Vikings, Patriots, Steelers, and Chargers.
Week 10 there's only 4.
Okay, all right.
But Eagles and Chiefs are in that.
Yeah,
and the Raiders and Baltimore.
So I guess my tip of the week is just keep watching those bye weeks, I guess. I mean, even we got confused a little bit. So that's my new tip. Take 2. Tip of the week, watch your bye weeks.
Yeah. I was going to say something about the bye weeks too, but you kind of stole it.
I stole it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Closing out, you can contact us on YouTube at the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. And you can email us at tylerandelifftips@gmail.com. On Twitter, you can find us at Tyler Belosky. And you can also find us at draftingsleepers.com, where we've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of retweets on Twitter. So just keep listening and keep retweeting and subscribing and liking and everything good, basically.
Yeah, and again, we want to thank pristineauction.com for sponsoring the show and teaming up with us. And we also want to say thank you for draftingsleepers.com for teaming up with us this year. I don't see why we can't keep going. They're an awesome website. They're the social network for fantasy sports. Again, you can sign up for free at both websites and just start commenting, asking questions. We want to thank Juice is Loose, Hack Shack, Drinking Fortes, and Truffle Shuffle for their questions this week. Hopefully we can answer them correctly for you, and hopefully you can start winning a title under the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast and give us credit and all that good stuff.
Yeah, when you win, tell the commish and everyone else basically that you got information from us.
That's right.
And then maybe they can listen to it too.
Yeah, and do it. Do it. All right, Eli, you got any final thoughts or questions or comments or concerns or?
Well, not really. I mean, there's a lot of buys, like you said earlier. Just watch out for the buys. Even if you lose these 2 weeks with a bunch of buys, it's okay. Like we've said in the preseason, it's okay if you lose that 1 or 2 weeks because your stars are on bye. It's better than spreading them out so you get more losses.
Yep.
So that's my final thought.
Yeah, my final thought is our candy bar bet last week, where we went head to head and I destroyed you. So we won't tell them what the score was, but you're gonna owe me a Twix candy bar.
I already gave you a Twix candy bar.
Oh, now you owe me another one.
Oh,
because I crushed you.
Well, I gave you I gave you a piece of candy at the Halloween party I went to today.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, we'll probably see each other again in the playoffs. Hopefully, the championship. We're sitting at number 2 and number 5, I think, in our league.
Yeah, I'm number 5. He's number 2.
I'm number 2, but it doesn't matter. We'll both make the playoffs and dominate.
We should.
We should. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast. Again, thank you for everyone who participated. Season 2, Episode 15, Week 8. Eli, thank you so much for hosting. You did another great job.
I think my agent will recommend it again.
Yeah, it looks like you're probably gonna get a raise. And yeah, awesome job, Eli. And that's it. That's gonna do it for us. See ya.
Bye.